Warning. The media that is about to play will contain graphic and foul language, but is intended to be entertaining, at least to some. The opinions shared here may not be shared by everyone, and may even be just for laughs. If you are easily offended, don't have a sense of humor, or have your head up your ass, love patting yourself on the back, or don't even attempt to be a good person, this isn't for you. Everyone else, please try to have fun. And as always, stay creative.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the STS podcast. I'm Bryan SilverBax. Some people don't know that the STS stands for shooting the shit. And today I'm going to be shooting the shit with Leah, and we're going to be talking about some Stranger Things. We're going to be talking about what she does for a living and how you can protect yourself. So stick around. What's up, Leah?
What's up?
How are you? You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to tell everybody that this podcast is brought to you by Capone Streams, which is an online streaming television service, you know, if you're tired of paying for cable. But so I just said it just now. So how are you?
I'm good. A little hungover from last night. I went to karaoke with my husband.
I think I saw videos of that. Carey is very much the karaoke guy.
He's not. I am, and I drag him with me. Well, it's like at first it was dragging him with me, but now he likes to go and hang out and watch me sing.
Well, he does like an adult beverage or two, so usually karaoke is an excuse to enjoy the adult beverage.
Well, yeah, but it's also an excuse to get out of the house and wear pretty clothes.
Oh, well, yeah, I don't have pretty clothes. But like when I did a convention with Carey in East Ridge, Tennessee. It was Matrotham Con. And like his first question to me was like, "Hey man, you do karaoke?" I was like, "Uh-oh, what does that mean?" I was like, maybe. Turns out I was having like a pseudo heart attack or something that weekend, so I didn't go with him.
Were you the one who face planted out of the elevator?
Oh no, ma'am. That was probably a drunk person.
That was a different convention. No, it was some guy who was like, I don't know what was going on. He wasn't even drunk. They ended up like he had something going on with his heart or something like that too. And
oh no, mine. I just felt like shit all weekend and didn't feel like myself. And then when I got home, my chest was on fire and I had to go to the emergency room and they had to give me a stent and the EKG and some kind of all this medicine and shit and said you've got. Turns out it wasn't a heart attack, though. It turns out I had a virus had attacked my heart. Something like that.
Oh, wow.
So, but we're all good now. No stents, no bypasses, none of that stuff. Just a $47,000 medical bill with no insurance. So we'll see how this goes.
Yeah.
But so the karaoke stuff, do you consider yourself like a good singer? Is singing something you wanted to do? Or?
Well, yeah, for a while.
Did you sing? I don't know much about you, so I'm going to act. I'm not even acting. I'm just completely ignorant. So if I say, "Did you used to sing?" and you're like, "Yeah, I dropped 5 LPs in the '90s, dude." Why didn't you?
No. Actually, I used to be doing the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, okay. Like the live performances.
The whole reason that the Rocky Horror Picture Show is in downtown Atlanta over at the Plaza is because of me.
Really, you pushed and made that happen.
Yeah, we had a cast over at Merchants Walk in Marietta, and the Theater of Merchants Walk, it closed. They didn't tell us, so we came down there for our Rocky on a Friday night, and all the lights were out, and the parking lot was completely empty. And we're like, oh well, this totally sucks. So where the people had their car in the parking lot, and they started playing the Rocky Horror Picture Show soundtrack, and we were just doing it in the parking lot, basically. But you know, it was like the next day, I was thinking about, well, where can we do this? And I'm like, we kept talking about being one of the Rocky Horror Picture Shows in Atlanta, and there was another cast called Nanox and All Nine, N9. That's what their name was.
All right.
And they were also in Marietta. And so, like, both of the cast were going, we're the only Rocky Horror in Atlanta. And it's like, we weren't in Atlanta. We were in Marietta. And I'm like, okay, so how do I find a theater in Atlanta? And at first I thought the Terra Theater over on where Lenox Road and Cheshire Bridge meet. but I remember that 5 years previously they had a Rocky there, and a whole bunch of seats were broken. And so I was like, well, they're not going to want us over there. They're like really, they're like, no, we don't want anybody over there. So I was like, well, the plaza's just right there. It's on Ponce. And I found LaFont's email address, and I had AOL at the time, because this was really a long time ago.
You had your free trial subscription, 700 free hours.
No, I had been an AOL user for years. For years, since like right after 3.1 came out. So I had AOL since 3.1 was for a different operating system. Well, I had it since 3.0. And I emailed George LaFont, and I was like, we need a home. We lost our Rocky home. And he's like, yeah, I'll think about doing that. Yeah, why don't you go down there and go meet up with Ansley? And she was the manager, and I met up with her, and she was just, super lesbian.
Now, describe, what is a super lesbian? I don't know that I've encountered a super lesbian.
Like, right when you meet them, you know they're a lesbian.
Now,
not butch. Not butch or lipstick, but like normal person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just, but you could just tell,
All right. I don't know that I've I don't know that I've encountered that myself. I've never heard of a super lesbian. Now, there's a super flamboyant gay male. Like, those guys are easy to find. Like, the ones that are just, I guess the real word for it is like a queen, right? The ones that are very flamboyant in nature. That's usually not hard to tell. But I don't know if I've ever seen the female equivalent of that. Is that what you're speaking of?
Well, she's older, and, well, she was, a lot older than me at the time, because I was in my 20s.
All right.
And she was real nice, had that air about her of being, she was a manager, but being, like, in control. And being,
so she was a powerful woman.
Yeah.
She gave off that power vibe.
Yeah. Okay. And so I think she had kind of a little bit of a crush on me. I'm not really even sure, but maybe it was because I was cute at the time. But she's like, "Oh, I'm totally into it.
I was
let's
cute
totally
at
do
the
Rocky
time."
Here." Well, yeah, because I was young, And so, but yeah, she was totally into it. She's like, "Yeah, we'll totally do it." And we started Rocky Horror Picture Show there, and I was making all the costumes.
Did you guys have a troop name?
Yeah, after a while we ended up making up a troop name when we were over at Matt's house and we were building the coffin.
All right.
And it really ended up being a bunch of people hanging out in the driveway drinking while I was sawing wood. and because I'd always built a lot of the props, so I built most of the coffin that we had at the time, and I was building most of the props and the costumes and stuff like that. I was making them all myself. And they ended up going, hey, what should we do? I mean, we're in the South and we've got the lips. And then Tom goes, lips down on Dixie. I totally love that. And everybody's like, yeah.
Lips down on Dixie. Lips down on Dixie. I don't know why I can't say that.
So that. And then they ended up being like a nonprofit group.
All right.
Now they're like Lips Down on Dixie. I think it's .org. So they're an organization. They do the Rocky Horror Picture Show at Dragon Con every year, because I emailed the person who was running Dragon Con at the time, and I said, hey, you guys are getting really big. It's a really big convention. You have hundreds of thousands of people come down there, and you have the Rocky Horror Picture Show going on, and for some reason because at the time N9 was doing it, and they weren't really into having all the costumes and all the props. I mean, they put on a good show and everything, but they didn't
They didn't go over the top.
Right, they didn't go over the top.
You guys
and so I was like,
your troupe had that extra pizzazz, the stuff that makes it, so much more fun for the audience.
Yeah. So I ended up emailing Dragon Con, was like, look, you need to I think you're getting really professional now, and you need to have a professional troupe do the Rocky Horror Picture Show for your convention. And so they switched out and had Lips Down on Dixie do it. And ever since then, Lips Down on Dixie's been doing it every single year.
To this date, you're saying?
Yep. Yep, absolutely.
And you're no longer a part of the troupe anymore.
No.
Why is that? What happened there?
Well, I went off and I got married and had kids.
So no one in that troupe is married and has kids?
Oh, they do. They are. We just we had, differences of opinions on things. I thought it was I really loved them and everything, but I just started getting older and started getting out of it,
Yeah.
But I used to play Columbia, the tap dancing girl with the gold hat and gold jacket. Yeah.
But there's no burned bridges, right? Like if you wanted to, you could go back and say, "Hey, what's up, guys?" Give a couple of hugs and stuff.
I have. There's this girl. Her name's Candace. She's gotten married recently, but she's still Candace Wisłowski, and she's amazing. She does the whole master of ceremonies down there. They also have a pre-show that's done very well. They have the people that do it, the Trixies, I think they call them, and they do like a pre-show, a pre-dance. They'll put together a something that's that they write themselves and produce themselves, and they put it out there, and they go up there in front of the stage. Mm-hmm.
Did you have?
We were so surprised. We were so surprised when we got to that theater, because in the back of the theater, behind the screen, because it was a big theater at first. It had the downstairs and the upstairs, and then have the balcony and everything. Mm-hmm. And then they changed the whole thing out, where the balcony is its own theater with a screen, and then below it is the floor.
All right.
With its screen. So we were so surprised when we got there, and in the back behind the screen there was actually a backstage. We loved it. We were like, "Oh my God, there's a backstage back here."
You guys are getting spoiled.
We got to do costumes and stuff like that back there. So we actually did the costume changes and everything in the backstage area. We had to clean it out though, because pigeons would get back there.
Yeah, we know what comes along with that. Some pigeon guano.
We had to clean it out. Yeah, we had to clean out a whole bunch of stuff from back there. But yeah, they're still doing it every Friday night at midnight.
Did you have a good time doing all the costumes and prop making, or was that simply out of necessity that you did it, or did you actually enjoy it?
At the time, I really enjoyed it. I was really into cosplay before anybody called it cosplay.
Yeah, it was called dressing
really
up.
Weird. Yeah, well, it was just costuming. It was just, we were really into costuming. We were really into costume contests and stuff like that. And, so people would go to Dragon Con dressed up, because that's just, that's what we did. And we had costume contests and stuff. And I was really into it because I really wanted to be I wanted to win that big Dragon Con masquerade.
Yeah.
It was like my big goal. I finally did win it though.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, I was I did the hippopotamus and the alligator dance from Fantasia. I played the hippopotamus, and I actually wore point shoes, and I danced in points on stage, and I made an alligator.
Wow. You have pictures of all, do you still have pictures of all that, somewhere that people can see it, or is it just on your Facebook?
Yeah, it's all on my Facebook. All on my Facebook. I'm Leah1190 or Leah11.90. I have my profile pictures red, and I got, red hair and pigtails. And in my photos, there is an album that says costume contest.
Okay. That'll make it easier to find.
Yeah, and so you just go to my albums, and it goes costume contest. So there's some in here where I was Queen Amidala.
Oh, okay.
I'm Arwen, and I have the headpiece on that she wore at the end of the Return of the King.
Okay.
It's got how it has all the silver chains and stuff. It's very intricate.
Oh yeah, did you make that yourself?
Yes, I made it myself, and I made it out of silver. I ended up learning how to be a silversmith just to make it.
Yeah, through YouTube tutorials, or someone had to actually
They didn't have YouTube tutorials back then.
I thought so. So you'd have to find someone that was actually doing that craft.
No.
To show you.
No, I just taught myself. I went to. I found a place. Oh, I remember what it was. I was going to this jewelry store, and I was like, "Hey, where do you get your gold and your silver to make your jewelry with?" because they were making it there in the shop.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh, here's this place. And they gave me a card. And there's this place called Just for Fun. It's over off Buford Highway behind the Pine Tree Plaza Shopping Center.
All right.
And they have like really strange hours. I think it's like 10 a.m. to like 3 p.m. or something. It's like really strange hours. But what they have is like everything you need. Like you want wire in silver, they have every gauge. You want wire in platinum, they have every gauge. You want wire in gold, they have every gauge. And their prices are based on the price of gold or silver or any of the metal prices online at the time. The trading price.
That's pretty badass.
So like if you bought some one day and then you come back and you go, oh, I didn't use this amount, they'll buy it back from you.
Huh. That's pretty sweet deal.
If the price changes from one day to the next, they'll end up paying more for it than what you paid for.
Well, I mean that's what gold is supposed. That's what the precious metals are supposed to do anyway. So it's cool to know that's happening.
Yeah, they're really awesome. So I picked up a book from them and learned how to do it. I was just like, what should I use? Ended up using map gas. You can pick up canisters and the blowtorch pieces from any hardware store.
I've never had to put together a cosplay, or I've never done metal work, none of that stuff. So I'm just sitting here nodding my head that I'm like, all right, rock on. Because somebody may need to know that stuff. I just don't have a clue what it is. Uh-oh. I seem to have lost. I've lost the call.
Molds for silver.
We're back.
Yeah.
The phone cut out for a second.
I don't know what that was.
Yeah, but now we're back.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, like most of my costumes are on there. Most of them are Star Wars. But you'll see there's 3 different pictures of me with the alligator and hippopotamus dancing.
I look forward to seeing those.
Profile.
Now it sounds like you did a lot of costuming and cosplay and stuff before it was hip. So you don't have any desire to do that stuff now anymore? I mean, you are married to Carey, who does a lot of these shows and gets a lot of this, go to a lot of places to do a lot of cool shit. I would think that it's not dead inside of you, or you just don't feel it anymore.
I would get kind of manic about it, so I'd end up working on a costume for like a very long time and spend all my time on it, and it costs a lot of money too. Basically, right now, he goes off to the conventions, and I stay home, and I do the day job that keeps all the bills paid, basically. So, whatever he makes at the conventions, we're just, super lucky to have it. It's like, oh, yay, we get to get food this week instead of having to go to the food bank.
Yeah, I'm very aware of what ramen noodles taste like.
Yeah, so Carey, he doesn't get residuals from Aquatine.
All right.
If a DVD is sold, he gets no money. If like a puppet sold, he gets no money. Like, if it's aired 50 billion times, he gets no money. The only time he ever got money was years and years ago when they had him in the booth and he recorded it, and that's it. So
what had without getting too much about Carey, is he still actively like booking work as a voiceover artist or as an actor or anything, or
not as much as he should be? And so I've been working on that. His agent wasn't getting a whole lot of stuff for it because she was semi-retired. Mm-hmm. So she wasn't like actively looking for anything for him.
Yeah, she wasn't pushing.
So I basically took it into my own hands, went and got him IMDb Pro. And then with IMDb Pro, you can find out all the different agents in your area of town. And so we're in Atlanta, which is really good. And that's the whole.
This is the time to make it happen.
Yeah, so I found a whole bunch of different agents and just emailed every single one of them, hey, I'm Carey Means, here's my IMDb link, I'm looking for representation, are you interested? And I actually got a hit back of someone who actually was interested, and it's a reputable company, so I was very excited. We signed with them.
Okay, cool. How long ago? Last year. I think I remember seeing Carey post about this.
We got together with the People Store. they do send auditions that they get for voice actors, but it's like such a niche, you know? You
But
have to have like a whole bunch of people like going, "Oh, we want him, we want him."
in my experience, limited experience, there seems to be a thriving voiceover network, that Bob Carter is a part of. That
he's our buddy.
And there's like, what did he say? There's a site like Voice 123, I think, is one of the sites, or Voiceover 123, where everyone's posting what they're looking for. Does Carey work on that with you guys?
Well, I would have to do it. Like pretty much everything that has to do with Carey and getting jobs and stuff, I actually have to do it. Also, like a lot of these websites and stuff, there's like so many of them, and they all want like $65-$75 to join, and it's like, and then a lot of them are like, "Oh, are you part of SAG?" It's like, look, we're not part of SAG, and that costs like $5,000, and we just don't have it.
Yeah,
I'm thinking about.
No, go ahead.
I'm thinking about maybe having him, be part of the SAG, but we would have to probably do like some crowdfunding just so he can be in it. And if that's possible, if that actually is a step up and gets him more auditions, that would be great. I'm actually his sound engineer.
Oh, okay, so you're familiar. You guys are you're sound engineer. You're the one that does the recording for him and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I actually set up a recording studio here at home, and it's all because of Bob.
Yeah.
Bob Carter has he has a voice acting coaching seminar thing.
Yeah, I do. I took his once a month class, like the one introductory thing, where you sit down for a whole Saturday. I went and did that with him, and then I've talked to him at shows and stuff.
When I did that, we did that with him, and when we did it with him, and he was telling us all the stuff that we needed to get, like he will tell you exactly what you need to get, what you have to have in order to have your own home studio. And I swear to God, if it wasn't for Bob, we wouldn't be getting anywhere.
There'd be a lot of trial and error. Like I bought this, but it sucked. I bought this one, and it's good, but I'm mortgaging the house and shit like that. So Bob's got the checklist. Here's what you need.
He's got the checklist. Here's what you need. This is how much it costs. It's right here. And so what I did was I brought up my Amazon on my phone and just started adding it to the cart. And when we had the money, like, a couple months later, when we saved up for it, it's like, boom, there we go. We got it. But it's great. The way we have it set up, like if somebody said, hey, we need you to do a commercial. We need somebody to have the commercial done in about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
We'll say, sure, give me the script. We'll do it. And we get it to them in about an hour and a half, and they just use it.
That's how it's supposed to be there.
Yeah, they don't have to do anything for it. It's like, we don't have, these different setups that they want. It's like, what is it? It's like something where they have, like, phone patches and stuff like that. We can't do that. Like, I don't have it set up where if somebody calls me on the phone that I can have it set up through both headsets so that we can hear them on the phone and he can hear them in the booth. We don't have that set up, but you can call him on his cell phone. He can have the cell phone on speaker.
That's pretty cool. I hope that leads to more work currently. I mean, but also a big shout out to Bob and September Carter running the neighborhood studio. And what is it? Is that Buckhead or Buford?
No, it's not. It's not even there. It's in
Norcross.
Up
Norcross. That's it. It's up 85.
Yeah, it's in Norcross. It's not okay. It's like we go to karaoke in Duluth, and we go through Norcross to get to Duluth. It's really seriously only about I think it's like 8 or 9 miles, maybe 10 miles from the center of Atlanta. It's really not that far away, and it's up north on 85.
Yeah, for me, because that same exit is the exit to that film studio that's right there. The BF.
Yeah, he's off Jimmy Carter, actually.
Yeah, that's the exact same light, because I've been to Bob's place, and if you make a left at that traffic light, that's where they filmed Bad Boys 3, and they're currently filming Ozark and a number of shows in that building over there. So it's still quite a ride for me to get out to that way when they call.
Yeah, speaking of Duluth, that's where that mall was.
Oh, yeah, the Gwen. Yeah.
Films,
Stranger
Things.
Things.
Yeah, it was so funny. We were driving by there, and my dad goes, Starcourt. What the hell is Starcourt? And I was like, oh, I said, that's a set, Dad. He's like, what? I said, that's a set. That's a filming movie set. And he goes, oh. You know what they also filmed there?
No, I do not.
The second part of Cobra Kai.
See, I have yet to watch any of the Cobra Kai stuff.
Oh my God! It's so good.
I see the stuff coming when they're casting for background people, and I always like, oh man, I don't know what Cobra Kai is, but everybody talks about when they do the extra work on those sets that they have so much fun.
How do you not know what Cobra Kai is?
No, I know what it is. I just haven't watched the show. I am very much
the continuation.
I
know. Continuation of Karate Kid. Come on now.
But it's been some years.
They even did a shout out to the Karate Kid in Stranger Things.
What part?
Yeah. Okay. When Elle's in Girly Girl's room and they're going over clothes and stuff. And
Ralph Macchio.
Yeah.
Yes. They were looking at like Teen Beat or some shit like that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't remember people's names. All right, so don't jump on me going, Girly Girl. Well, come on, her name is so okay.
I think. Oh, her name was really Max.
Yeah, Mad Max.
Because she's like, your name's Maxine. No, it's Max. Or was it Sam? Samantha? Sam?
Oh my God, Mad Max.
I don't know.
Maxine. Yeah,
I think it was Maxine. Yeah. So
yeah.
Speaking of Stranger Things, what did you think about the last season?
Okay, so they were really going hardcore on the Russians. Well, okay, so you have to understand that back in the 80s and everything, people were like really crazy about this Russian thing, this Russian threat. Cold War was going on. They were teaching us to hide under our desks because if they were going to drop the bomb, and I was under the desk and I was like, you do know if they drop the bomb, we're all like, disintegrated, right?
Yeah, well,
this ain't gonna help.
if they drop the bomb, but what if they just drop a bomb? We might be able to make it. But President Reagan and the whole East Berlin, West Berlin, the USSR, that whole thing was still very real in the 80s.
Yeah. When they were doing it, I was drawn back to the time when she was practicing the tuning in, and it's showing her doing it that one time, and she's looking at this guy who's speaking in Russian.
Oh wow, I don't remember that.
Was she really seeing him in Russia, or probably she was seeing him down the street?
Well, who knows? Because now, spoiler alert for anybody who are not watching Stranger Things or not finished it, that little tag at the end of the season where they're like in Russia, like, I guess the guys are going to end up going on vacation next season. I don't have any idea what they're going to do.
Was that Siberia in the Gulag or something? It kind of made me think it was.
I thought I thought it just said Russia. I don't know. It's
pretty damn cold.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where it is in Russia. It's going to be cold.
Yeah. You know what it made me think of? It made me think of The Fly. When that guy was turned inside out.
Yeah.
Then they open the cage. That was disgusting. But it really made me think of that. Now, because it's like the same door.
If you look at the cover for season 2 of Stranger Things, how there was that big formation in the sky, like that big silhouette. Mm-hmm. The anatomy was very much like this creature that we had in season 3. Just on a much, much larger scale with the...
Well, that's exactly what it was.
The feet with the other feet.
I thought you knew that... Yeah, I thought you knew that's what it was. He was rebuilding himself in our world. With pieces from our world. That's the only way he would be able to, stay in our world that long. Oh, see, I've basically flushed season 2 out of my brain. I think season 2 is probably in my opinion, it's the weakest of the 3 seasons. And for me... I didn't like it. So here's the thing. It's like the reason it's hard for people to really grasp what's going on is because it's another dimension. Yeah, they call it upside down, but it's another dimension. And the way other dimensions work, and they have holes, and they keep jumping back and forth between the dimension, right?
Yeah.
Is on our side we have a certain vibration. that says you are here, you belong in this particular third dimensional world. And on the other side, on the upside down, they have a particular vibration that says that they belong in that certain world. So that dude's not able to move from that dimension to our dimension unless he finds something that he can hold on to and attach himself to. Otherwise, the vibration is so wrong, he's not even going to be able to survive that long over here.
Wow, it sounds like you've actually done some research for this.
Well, not really. I mean, it's just...
But I mean, you're doing dimensional talk.
Yeah, it's dimensional theory.
Where did your education for dimensional theory come from? This doesn't sound like the first time you've thought about it.
I read a lot. When Stranger Things started and they started talking about the Upside Down and they started showing pictures about what the Upside Down looked like, it made me so mad because I was like, okay, look, there's this indie writer. His name is Bryan Harmon. Okay, he is super duper amazing. You got to read the Blind Temple series.
All right.
It starts with the box. He's so good. It's all available on Amazon if you get that Amazon book thing, the Kindle.
Okay.
You have that unlimited reading. It's all part of that. Bryan Harmon, look him up. He's so much better than Stephen King, got to tell you.
Oh, awesome. Wow. Well,
okay, so he does this world, and it's exactly like that. I was so mad. I was like, oh, my God, there are the trees. There are those trees. You can't bring a flashlight in. You bring a flashlight in, you shine the light on the trees, they start trying to grab you because that's how they act, because it's a dying world. It's like all these people and all these beings used to live in that world and used to have like a plain world like ours, but then it just started decaying and dying, and that's why they're trying to get out.
Now, you seem very passionate about the topic. Have you ever tried to write something yourself, or have you written something or done anything, written a story or anything?
No, I kind of can't because, like, if I start writing a story, it'll be a amalgamation of, like, everything I've ever read, and that's the problem because...
That's fine.
Because that's what made me mad at Stephen King about Under the Dome. I was like, dude, how dare you? Because Michael Grant wrote this whole series. It's called the Gone series. It's all about these kids that live under a dome. And he brought out his books way before Stephen King brought out Under the Dome. And he even has this thing on the book that Stephen King says, this is a really great series. I'm like, I bet you think that's why you stole it. I was so mad.
Yeah, but we're allowed to have, since we're all dealing in fiction, if I say that vampires are one way and that's not the traditional way that everybody's thought of vampires, that doesn't make either way right or wrong. Right? Like it's there are these other, you know what? There are 3 different ways that they were showing depicting vampires as being these awesome, these parasites. Uh-huh.
The latest one, what is it? That big TV show that's been going on for a while. I can't even remember the name of it. Is that that
True Blood?
No, it's not that one. It's like the one on
Lucifer.
A&E. No, that's not even.
I don't watch these shows, so I don't know them.
Yeah, that's a derivative off of Sandman. Okay, all right. So there are these 2 books that I really love. It's Scott Westerfeld. He does Peeps. If you watch that one, it depicts vampires as being a type of parasite. And another one that's like super duper good. It's called Necromancer. It's not Necromancer, but Necromonger.
All right.
And it's also about them being parasites. At least I think that's what it's called. You know, I don't know why I can't remember what it is. It's like Necro something, and he like talks to it's like about this guy who talks to the dead, and it's all about like Russian conspiracy and vampires being parasites. It's like really good, and I can't remember it's Brian Lumley, I believe.
So what did you think of the Anne Rice series of vampires?
I didn't read them all. I really was more into the one about the witches.
Oh, okay. So out of all fictitious supernatural type things, would witches be your bag?
Not really.
Right.
I like the strange and unusual, the stuff that's like
Beetlejuice style.
That really makes you think. Yeah, we are the strange and unusual ones, Mr. Okay, so it's Brian Lumley, and it's Necroscope.
Necroscope.
And it's Necroscope. It's a really good series. Yeah, I read a lot.
I was going to ask you. It sounds like I barely make the time to read the instructions on my microwave meals, much less read a book. But,
okay, what my bag is, what I'm really into, is fairy tales, like the really good ones, like Holly Black, where they're dragging you to the underground world, like Pan's Labyrinth.
All right, so there can be bad fairies.
They're all bad.
They're all bad?
They're all bad.
Well, what's Tinkerbell?
Every fairy is... Tinkerbell tried to kill Wendy.
Oh, shit. Fuck that bitch.
You remember, right?
No, I don't.
Shoot her down, and she hands him a bow and arrow, and he shoots Wendy down out of the sky.
All right, so
and she's all jealous as hell about... Yes.
But
all
they look good.
Yes, of course they look good.
They're supposed to...
What did you... It's like, okay, when she's standing outside the labyrinth, in not in Pan's Labyrinth, but in the labyrinth with David Bowie.
Okay.
And he's out there and Hoggle, right? He's spraying fairies out of the sky. And she picks her up. She's like, "How dare you? Oh, it's so sweet. Ow, she bit me." Well, what did you expect fairies to do? Grant wish? She's like, "I thought they granted wishes." Shows what you know. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, well, they're not leprechauns.
Leprechauns are a type of fairy. They're Irish. All fairy folklore comes out of Ireland.
Wow. Such a deep dive here.
Okay, so a lot of it has to do with guy gets drunk and then comes up with some weird fairy story about being whisked off to the moon instead of telling his wife that he passed down on the side of the road. I mean, that's where it all comes from. I mean, seriously.
All right. Now, do you get a chance to watch many movies?
Yes, I watch everything. I watch a ton of TV and I watch movies all the time.
All right, so I'm a movie guy. I want to know. I want you in your folklore fairy vampire world. Give me some good movies in that you approve of in that kind of genre area.
Well, see, there's the problem is that we don't have enough fairy movies.
All right. Well,
I mean, okay. So we got really lucky. Brightburn came out, and it's like, yes, awesome. That's what I'm talking about. Those are some of the books that I really, really love. Is movies like Brightburn, where.
What about Cabin in the Woods?
And I love that. I loved all of the genre behind it and below it, and they were talking about all that. That's awesome. That's a really good one. There was something else. Gosh, I can't remember what it was.
What about the movie Bright that was on Netflix? Where
Bright.
Bright had Will Smith and the ogre as a partner.
I'm sorry, I got it confused between Brightburn and Bright. I did like Brightburn. Yeah, Bright's amazing.
Oh, okay. Awesome. So that's because
they're gonna come out with another one.
That's the one where Will Smith was trying to kill the fairy on his front lawn, and everybody's looking at him. I was like, dude, that's hilarious. But I did like the movie Bright. I look forward to. They did such a great job world building that you just want to know what else is going on in that world. With the fair, because there was one thing that happened in the movie Bright. There's a nighttime scene during the movie somewhere, and a dragon just flies by the moon. Not brought up in the story. Dragons have nothing to do with any of the story, but it lets you know that the world is so much bigger than just the small portion of the detective story that we're following. And I thought that was cool.
Yeah, I mean, all of that is super awesome. I just love the fact that they're starting to bring it more out where fairy tales in the modern world, and that's what I'm talking about. They need to take all of Holly Black's books and just make them all. Okay, so one of them, it was Tithe, I think, Tithe.
All right.
It's about the fairies that live in the city having a problem living with all this iron and stuff around them, and so they have humans helping out this troll. They don't know that it's a troll, okay? They just think he's an ugly guy who lives under a bridge or whatever. And he's giving them these packages to carry over to these fairies and stuff. They don't know they're fairies either. They just think they're hermits or something that live in these, houses and stuff. So they're bringing this stuff to them, and they think it's drugs, okay?
Right.
And it's not. It's fairy dust.
Is this a real movie or is this like a?
No, it's a book. It's
Okay.
a book, and it's like super good. Okay, and so the kids think it's drugs. The kids that are these street kids, they're like delivering this stuff so that they can have money to live off of and everything like that, right? Living on the street, and so the kids think it's drugs. I think they're like, messaging drugs to different people around the city. It's not. It's fairy dust. It's so that they can deal with being around the iron all the time. But the kids start shooting it up. Yeah.
Like regular human kids start shooting up fairy dust?
Yes.
Do they get superhuman powers?
Yeah, they get like these weird fairy powers. You know, like one of the biggest powers that fairies have is glamour.
I will take your word for it.
Yeah, it's so like, see, fairies and elves and stuff are usually really ugly.
Oh, okay.
And so they have this glamour to make you think that they're beautiful and pretty. And so you'd be like, oh, she's so beautiful. She's like an angel. She'd never hurt anyone. And that's their thing. That's what they do. They make you think that. And so when they were shooting up this fairy dust, they're like walking around town and putting glamour on people and like handing them pieces of garbage and making them eat them because they think they're cupcakes. Yeah.
Oh, man. That's hilarious. So you're basically giving everybody else beer goggles. Like, here you go. Give you some beer goggles. Well, that's cool, man. So I want to know, like, what do you think is, like, what other movies do you think get close to being good?
I'm trying to find, like, there was some movie that I downloaded the other day, and I can't remember what it was. But it was an 80s movie, and it's about this little girl who has a house in the back of her yard, and she's like playing with the Fairy King.
Huh.
And of course that's really bad because it tries to kill everybody. Afraid of the Dark, I think, is one. Don't Be Afraid of the Dark.
All right. So, are you much into horror movies?
Yes.
You like horror movies as well?
Oh yeah, I watch, like, I try to stay away from reality TV so much. Most of what I watch is like horror, action, some gore. There's like this one gore movie that I like because it has a really good story. It's called Found.
All right. Do you watch independent horror movies?
Found is independent horror movie, so yes.
Okay.
Some of them.
Have you ever heard of a movie called Dead by Midnight, 11 Central?
No.
It's done by a local guys, and it's an anthology about a demon that takes over a television station, and each little segment of the anthology is the demon invading small shows. So it's like these little short horror films all tied together.
Oh my gosh. There was one of those movies. Do you remember that? Okay, so that guy that was like in a lot of trouble, the Rooney guy from Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yes.
He was in a movie, and I think it was called like Devil TV or something.
Oh yes, I do remember that.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing, but they get trapped in it, and it's all these horror shows.
I think it had John Ritter in it.
Yes.
And they bought the big satellite dish in their backyard.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. So when you were talking about that, I was like, oh my God, that's like that other movie.
Yeah, that's fun. Well, they're actually, the guys that did the Dead by Midnight are actually doing a Dead by Midnight sequel where it's going to be like a different software. It's going to be more tech related, where the demon lady is infected and taking over like programs and ads and stuff like that. But it's going to be fun.
Like that entity in American Gods media.
Maybe I don't watch the show. I'm familiar with it, but I don't watch it.
Oh my gosh! Okay, so you're talking about, you're just saying something about Lucifer earlier, right?
Well, that's a very popular show.
Well, yeah. Okay, so American Gods, Lucifer, and Sandman is all the same person.
Oh yeah, see that's
it's
too
Neil
deep.
Gaiman. Come on.
I mean,
seriously.
I'm familiar with Neil Gaiman. I'm familiar with the Sandman universe because I think his stuff just got optioned for Netflix or something like that.
It's not optioned. It was totally bought. It was bought,
okay.
And they said yes, we're totally doing it, and everybody's freaking. And then some people are like, "Do you think Lucifer is part of the Sandman universe?" It's like, duh. Where the hell have you been?
Yeah, I'm excited about all these comic book properties because when people think comic books, they think superheroes, and there's so much more to comic books than just superhero stories.
Like, where are they? Oh yeah. Speaking of which, Holly Black actually had one of her novels turned into a comic.
What was that called?
It was about fairies, of course.
Well, I figured that, but I didn't know what. Like, this is a recent thing, or maybe a couple years ago, or
like 5 years ago, something like that. I can't remember what it was. I think it's let's see, it might have been The Darkest Part of the Forest. I'm not sure. Well, she did Spiderwick Chronicles. You ever watch Spiderwick Chronicles?
I tried to watch that, but it was too. I just couldn't get into it. It was about the kids, right?
Yeah, it was about the kids with the fairies and the.
Yeah, it just wasn't for me, so I just moved along. Like, I don't want to badmouth it because the thing for me is, like, if it's not for me, that doesn't mean it sucked. It's just not for me.
Right. Exactly.
So,
she's really deep. I just love her stuff. She's so good. Gosh, there were some there were lots of different fairy tales. I don't know why I can't remember what they are.
Now
there is that movie called Fairy Tale that was really good.
Really? How old was that? Well, I probably didn't watch it anyway.
I don't know. I think it's like 2013 or something.
All right. Now you said that if anything's going to happen with Carey's career, it's going to be more work for you. What is it that you do? What is your 9 to 5 currently that you would have to add work to?
Oh, I do tech support.
Tech support?
I do tech support for this company. They are super amazing. They're a real company. They are A+ rating with a Better Business Bureau.
Word.
I don't know if you ever watch these different things on the internet where they're calling up these fake scam companies that are fake tech support companies.
Oh, okay. You mean like the Fox 5 guy is going to call them and try to call them out or something?
No, actually, there's this guy named Kit Boga on Twitch.
Okay.
And he will call the numbers. Every time you get one of those pop-up scams, it comes up and it's red and it starts blaring this warning.
You've been infected. You've been infected.
Yeah. And so he'll call them, and it always ends up being some company in India. And they get you to get on their computer with a program called GoToAssist, or a trial version of Log Me and Rescue, or TeamViewer, or one of the many other different things that they use to get on your computer with. And then they start showing you all this stuff on your computer that it's infected with this or that, and this is wrong. They'll show you all the errors that Windows systems normally throw out because it's not a perfect system and you're going to get errors.
Yeah.
And they'll say, see, your computer's totally messed up. It's destroyed.
And most of us don't know what we're looking at. You could tell me that I'm not supposed to have it, and I wouldn't know any different.
Right, exactly. And so that's a big problem. So what they do is they get these different people who don't know what's supposed to be on their screen, and they'll go, okay, we can fix it all for you for $500. So I want you to drive over to Walmart and pick up some Google Play cards. Because you can't cancel a transaction on a Google Play card. You can cancel it on your credit card, you can cancel a check, but they have you go get these Google Play cards, and I have spoken to people on the phone that have lost $3,000 to these scammers.
I think that anytime someone asks me to pay for something by going and buying another thing or another form of currency thing, you can go fuck yourself. That's not how anybody that does real business does business.
Exactly. And I run into people that have had that problem. They're just in tears when they end up calling our company, but they end up finding our company, and our company is super duper awesome. We're called One Support. One Support.
Is that the number one, or is that O-N-E?
It's O-N-E. It's O-N-E, and we have an orange symbol with a 1 in it. Okay, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook. It's onesupport.com, and we have a monthly plan, and we also have a yearly plan. Now we have this software that comes with our monthly and our yearlies, not our one-time fix, but it's a software. It's a self-help thing. So cool! It's in perfect English. You can bring it up, and it says, "My computer's slow," and you click on it, and it goes, are you having this problem? Are you having this problem? Is your web browser running slowly? Click this button, and you click the button, and it just fixes it for you.
That is pretty good.
Yeah, and you can say, is your computer running slow? Oh, I want to do a tune-up right now. Okay, this is going to take about 5 to 10 minutes. Just continue working while we're doing it, and we'll have to close a couple things. But in about 5 to 10 minutes, we're going to restart your computer, and it'll be done. And then you're like, everything's clean.
Is it like is it an antivirus also, or is this just a fixer?
We have different plans. Like we have our One Security, which is our it's the tool that comes with a malware scanner, and we have our One Protect, and it's the tool with the malware scanner plus an antivirus. And I love this antivirus because it's not annoying. You know how like there are so many antiviruses out there, and it's like, I'm going to give you this web browser, and I'm going to give you this tool, and I'm going to pop up every 5 minutes saying, I found malicious content on your thing. It's like, no. I mean, every once in a while it'll alert me if I'm like one of those sites and it's like trying to crypto mine me and it's trying to like borrow my CPU power. Mm-hmm. It'll say, hey, this site's trying to borrow your CPU power. Do you want to block it or not? I mean, like every once in a while I'll do that, but because I go to these sites.
How does a site use your CPU power? I don't understand what that means.
It's running a script and it's using your CPU power to like mine cryptocoin. It's a thing. People do it.
Well, shit.
Online.
What kind of
a lot of them do it.
What sites do I need to steer away from to make that not happen? Like what kind? Like. I'm sure that I'm sure that pornography and Pornhub are somehow involved, but is there any other type sites, like just regular old sites that I would go to, or are they like dark web sites?
Oh, they're not dark websites. No, I stay away from the dark internet. I don't want people turning on my camera and saying, I know where you live, I'm gonna come get you. No, thank you.
I do leave my camera pointed at the ceiling just in case.
Oh, no, I don't, because I don't care. Just don't go looking for dark websites, and you can look for stories from the dark web, and that'll keep you from ever wanting to look for dark websites. No, it's like normal websites. Like if you're you're on the internet and it's like some clickbait or something, they could have a script running on their site that'll use. All right,
but I mean that's generally not like the websites I'm going to go to. Like, but maybe if I'm downloading torrents and shit like that. Maybe
Don't download torrents. I wouldn't download torrents because when you download torrents, you're also uploading, and they'll like tag your stuff. They'll tag, like sometimes the TV people will put a tag on it.
Oh yeah, I've gotten spanked by Xfinity a couple of times.
Yeah, because you're uploading.
Yeah, it'll be like, you downloaded some copywritten content. If this happens again, we'll suspend your account.
Exactly. By the way, they don't.
Oh, well, I'm like, oh, shit, I better not do that again.
They'll give you like 3 of them, and then they'll like get really mad at you and start calling you, and then just get like a free VPN or something and just put it on your web browser. But I wouldn't do torrents. Just don't do torrents.
I don't do torrents anymore. I've got a Fire Stick that allows me to do everything I need it to do.
Well, that's good. Fire Sticks are awesome.
I have a Fire Stick.
Amazon. I love Amazon. I just got a whole bunch of clothes today. Amazon's amazing.
Well, I got it, and then I also run the VPN on the stick, and then put third-party software onto the stick.
Okay.
So that's pretty.
To.
Yeah, it's pretty
okay.
cool.
I have Netflix and I have Prime and I have regular cable. It's just I like to watch what I want to watch when I want to watch it. So I do other things in order to watch what I want to watch. But it's not like I don't already have it. It's just I don't like the quality of the pixelation that comes through with Amazon Prime. They only give it like perfect quality on the TV. They don't give it perfect quality on the computer, and they tell you that they don't.
Oh, okay.
Netflix will, though. Netflix gives really good quality on your computer, and I watch most of my stuff on my computer.
Okay.
So I'm kind of a quality snob.
Now, with your job, are you a Monday through Friday type person, or do you just like whenever someone calls, they get you?
Oh, yeah. We actually it's a real company. We're based out of Texas. It is a 24-hour company. We have shifts. We log into our shifts. I work from home. And so what I do is I bring up the website and I just log into my shift, and I'm there for my shift until my shift ends. I have regular breaks. I have regular restroom breaks. I have a lunch break. I get paid by the hour. I get paid by the minute, really, because of the way the system is set up. I work with a lot of great people. We're all American. We do have some Spanish speakers on our staff as well. My shift, I go to work at like 3 in the afternoon. I don't get off until like 1 in the morning.
And that's every time you work. That's about the shift.
That's until they feel like switching me, which is fine. So like my company's really amazing. I love all the people that I work with. They're very knowledgeable. They know how to fix things. It's not just when people get one of those scam callers and need to have their computer cleaned, because see, the thing is that if you've got one of those scam callers and you get them on your computer, you don't know what they've put on your computer while they're there. They could be running some script in your command prompt and like boom, have like all your stuff, you know. Sometimes they get really angry, like if you don't give them money, they'll start just deleting all your files.
Oh, fuck that.
It was really bad. I got this one guy who had his backup drive plugged into his computer, and they quickly just reformatted that backup drive.
Ooh, fuck.
And then wiped out his entire computer of like all his saved files.
That's a horrible story.
So they basically reset his computer and deleted everything that the guy had been holding on to. Okay, so there's one thing you can do if your drive has been deleted or whatever, and there's like a whole bunch of stuff on there you want. There's this one company, and it starts at about like $900 or something.
Oh, shit.
And, you send it to them, and they will get data off of pretty much any drive. Their main source of business usually is a plane went down and it's at the bottom of the ocean, and they go and fish the black box out, and it's been down there for like 3 years, and they get the data off of that.
All right.
Yeah. I think they're called drive savers, and they help people with a lot of stuff like that. But it can be upwards of like 1,000 or 3,000 or something. It's a data recovery industry's leading service provider.
Were you tech savvy before you started this job?
I worked as kind of like a secretary, like front end of a computer repair shop until I got really bored because I ran out of stuff to do and then started taking the computers apart.
All right, so you were familiar, so you may not have been. This isn't completely foreign. Like you didn't just jump in out of the blue.
Well, it kind of felt like that with me because, like, there's so many people out there. It's like they have like 4 computer screens, and they have like they're really into gaming. They have a big old gaming rig set up, and it's like, I'll buy a Dell off the shelf and just use it. I don't care. I have one screen. I'm lazy. I use a trackball. I'm a very low tech support person. I got my first smartphone 2 years ago.
Oh wow!
And it was a real smartphone. I was very excited. I could put an app on my phone.
So you graduated from what, the Razor to an iPhone or something?
I am a beauty school dropout. And no, I have an LG phone. I really like it. It makes calls.
Yeah.
And you can text people on it, and you can look at Facebook on it, and it has the apps that I use for work, so that I can sign into the different things that I sign into.
Yeah, like payroll.
Yeah, well, not exactly. My company is we do a whole bunch of stuff. So we're not just for, Linda down the street who's 60 and doesn't know how to use her computer very well and got scammed or whatever. We're not just that.
You do corporate stuff too, like corporate securities?
Not really. We do have a business side, and they do a lot of stuff like some of them do work on the exchange servers. We do have exchange server people. And we do have people like me. I actually help people set up their audio studios.
Oh, word up.
People get problems. Yeah, people get problems like they're like, oh, I just got this computer and I'm trying to do recordings over here because I'm visiting my family in New York, and I need to have these recordings done because I do this radio show. And so I'll help them get it set up and working so that they can send their stuff in. They just tell me what equipment that they've got, and I get it working. I'm also one of the Mac techs because I understand Mac really well. So anytime anybody has a Mac problem, they message me and say, "Hey, I've got a Mac on here, help me." And we don't just work on regular, just anybody's computers, like just people's computers. We also work with different companies. I'm not going to name the companies, but they are on our website if you really want to look. So we're actually a reputable company that works with other companies, doing a lot of their tech support. We're basically like a call center, except you're not calling India or, or the Philippines.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, like, you won't know you're calling your ISP, we'll pick up the phone. But we're an all-American one that's, real people that are really knowledgeable.
Well,
and a lot of the time, like, I'll get people on the phone, they'll say, "Yeah, it's not working, my internet's not working." And I'll say, "So you've already power cycled your router and everything like that?" And they're like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, you turned it off and on again, right?" And they're like, "Yeah, okay, cool. So I'm not going to make you go through all that again, because that's how we are. We're not going to go, okay, you have to do this. Well, you have to do." Sometimes they're just like, "Hey, have you done it already?" We're not.
Yeah, that's pretty helpful, because when I call tech support, I was like, I've done the. My stupid ass will do everything I know how to do prior to calling.
I didn't lose you, did I? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I'm back. So I'll do everything I know how to do prior to calling. And then when I call, I say, "Here is the steps that I've taken, A, B, C, and D. I've done this. I did them in this order, and this is how I do it." And they're like, okay. Start off. Is it plugged in? I'm like, motherfucker, don't you think I know? Like, I just told you all the things I did, but they'll make you do all of those things over again just so they can check the box and say that they, so that gets very irritating.
Yeah, like our company's not, we're a little bit different. Yeah, we're so much easier to deal with. "Oh, you've already done all that? Okay, that moves this one thing, so it's going to take about 5 minutes, so just give me a minute." So they're actually, we're actually really, we actually listen to our customers.
All right.
And we care. So, yeah.
Well, that's cool. I'll have to check that out. Not that I can afford any more services at the moment, but it's good to have in the back pocket.
$178 or something a year. Yes, we are the tech support in your back pocket 24/7.
Because you did say that you offer like the rescue service, like when shit hits the fan, there's a one-time fee, like, "Hey, fix my shit if you can, please."
Yeah, there's a one-time price. It's $199.99. Sorry, that's on-site service. Excuse me. We do have an on-site service. We contract outside service to do it for us. Our one-time fix is $119.99, but you really don't want to do that. You would rather do our yearly support.
I bet you would.
Our one support service.
Don't sell me your bullshit. Don't sell it to me.
But it's really good. It's
I don't doubt it.
$179.88.
I don't doubt it. That's pretty cool. But now it sounds like we're going into the plug section of the podcast, which is near the end.
Plug it.
No.
One thing
I'm about to give you an opportunity. I'm about to get. Shh, slow your roll. So what we're going to do now is we're going to push into the final part of the podcast. It's called the final push. This is where we're allowed to plug stuff that we would like others to check out.
Yeah. By the way, I just work for the company.
I know. It sounds like you've got. You sure you don't have like stocks in the company?
No, but I do have a coupon.
Oh, a coupon code.
Yes, I do.
All right. That way that we can know that we got it from you.
Yeah. Actually.
Shit, that's the way to do it, man.
It's really cute. It's from Carey and I.
Okay.
And you'll know right away when I tell you what the code is.
Oh man, it's going to be something related to French fries. All right, give it to me.
All right, so it's onesupport.com, and we do have a coupon code. It's Frylock with a capital F, and it's for the monthly One Support plan. So if you sign up, you get a 1 month free subscription.
All right, now you don't mind if I put that in the body of the podcast, right?
No, I don't mind.
All right, capital F.
Yeah.
I will put the URL in the bottom.
Okay.
And that way that everyone can check out the wonderful prices from this tech support company that can help you recover your drives if needed.
They don't recover.
Well, not
data.
recover. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
stop you from the scammers.
Yes, stop from the scammers. We don't do any data recovery. I just let people know if they have to have data recovery that there are some companies they can reach out to for it. But we're really in about keeping your computer clean, having people that are on the phone that are willing to help you out with stuff. Like anytime you have a problem, you say, "Hey, I see this thing on my computer screen. What is it?"
All right. Do you have a? And if anyone wants to reads any of those books that you were talking about and wants to reach out to you and have a in-depth conversation about fairies, ogres, werewolves, all that stuff, then they can find you on social media, can't they?
Yeah, I'm Leah Means.
Now, is that also going to be on Instagram and Twitter and stuff?
I have Twitter. I don't use it.
Yeah,
I don't have Instagram because my camera. I don't like my camera.
All right, so we're Facebook only people.
Yeah.
Does Carey have any upcoming conventions that you'd like to plug?
Yeah, actually, he's gonna be at this thing. Let me get his calendar up real quick.
Because this will probably air after this weekend, so like the 15th.
Yeah, it's actually really. It's. He has a thing on the 27th.
Oh yeah, this will get there.
It's, gosh, what was it? Let me see.
What area of the country are we in?
Let me see.
So Carey Means is the voice of Frylock from Aqua Teen Hunger Force is why we're talking about this.
Yes. It looks like he's doing this thing with Matt Burns. It's like some kind of punk rock convention thing.
Okay. Where's that going to be?
It's I don't know why I can't find it. I'm looking for his ad because I know he's got one. Let me see if I can see what his events are. I don't see.
All right. Do you have any performances coming up or anything?
No, I don't really do much.
I know, but I thought I'd ask because maybe that'll jog your memory.
I just run Carey's stuff. I'm trying to figure out where it is. It's like he's doing this show. Okay, so I'll have to give it to you later.
Well, does Carey have a site that do you guys maintain like a CareyMeans.com or
no? But he's
voice
on
actor
Facebook.
Carey Means.
No, we don't have a website because if we had a website, I would have to continuously keep up with it. And I would have to code it myself and write it myself, and I just really don't feel like doing it. I used to run websites, but not anymore. So he is on Facebook. He is on Instagram.
All right.
He's not on Twitter. He don't do that tweet thing. But yeah, he's actually... You can actually friend him on Facebook. You can talk to him on Facebook. He will talk to you back. He's really super cool. Yeah, I can't remember. It's like some flea market they're doing, some punk.
But is it here in Atlanta somewhere?
No, I think it's it's like in West Virginia. It's in Charleston, I think.
Okay. That sounds like a lot of fun. I think.
But let me see the next thing that he's doing. He's doing something in Las Vegas.
Oh wow, shit, that's far. But maybe somebody listening is close. You know what I mean? Who knows who listens to this?
Actually, if anybody wants him to go to a convention,
let's do that.
Ask the conventions. Say, "Oh, I live in Texas, and there's a convention over there, and I go to that every year."
I'd like your convention to book Carey Means.
Yes, any convention, convince them to book Carey Means. Because any convention that contacts us, if we're not scheduled right around there, and they don't have a clause in there about a distance clause or whatever, then he's totally into doing it. He wants to go everywhere, anywhere, all the time. Yeah, I think he's got one in Alaska at some point.
Holy shit balls. That's pretty badass. Yeah. Well, it has been great talking to you, Leah.
You too.
I didn't exactly know where we would take this, but we've got so much information to digest, and I did not have any idea about the fairies. That's intriguing. I think I want to use that in my storytelling.
Yeah, we need to do more fairy tales. I want more fairy tales set in this time period.
Yeah, modern day and above. Stop doing that old shit.
Yes. like there's a troll living under each bridge, and like have a big story about the trolls living under each bridge or whatever. That would be really cool.
Like, what if we did like a post-apocalyptic fairy tale? Is that going to be okay for you?
Everybody does post-apocalyptic everything, and it's getting kind of old.
I know, but okay, not to have to be apocalyptic, but we can just like dystopian future. How about that? Does that work better?
It's always dystopian future. Everything's dystopian future.
Well, because
I
we
would
all
like
know.
something that's like right now, like the hidden world right now, and like the hidden buildings that Brian Harmon talks about. Like if you like buildings like not used anymore, and that people stop noticing that it's there, it kind of ends up being shielded in a way, kind of in between this dimension and another.
All right.
And you have to actually know that it's there.
I suggest you start writing some of this stuff yourself. I'm just like, it seems like you would have it could be a pretty fun story for you to tell, because you have all the knowledge of how to make it happen. I think that would be fun, but that's just me. And
it's kind of like the underground world in Door, another Neil Gaiman thing.
Yeah, I'm not into that's not. I mean, yeah, cool. I don't know anything about it though, so I can't go in depth. Yeah. I can't have a conversation about that stuff. But it is pretty cool, and it's been a wonderful talking to you. And I thank you for reminding me to call you, because I almost forgot because I got caught up in my work today.
That's cool. I gotta get Carey to do some recordings anyway.
All right. Well, anyone that's listening, please feel free to follow the company. What's the name of it? One Support. One Support. And
it's ONESUPPORT.com, and we're also on Facebook, and we're on Twitter. One Support.
Don't forget to follow Carey Means, and if you have a convention, try to book Carey Means. And don't forget to reach out to Leah if you want to talk about some fairies. In the meantime, Labor Day is coming up quick, and Dragon Con will be here, and Bryan SilverBax will be in Artist Alley this year again at Dragon Con. So come out and see me if you can. Please support the podcast. Please support creative people doing creative shit and not eating and not making any money. Like, just support creativity, and you guys stay creative.
It's